Well, welcome back. Sue Hatfield won last Tuesday's Republican primary for Attorney General. She is currently on leave of absence as a state prosecutor, and she's a supporter of President Trump.
Yes, she is. What would be a focus for her as the next AG? Cracking down on sexual predators, we're hearing, and human trafficking. And there's something else that's bothering her and all of us, and that is the dozens of overdoses this past week on the New Haven Green. Sue Hatfield, Republican for Attorney General, we want to thank you for joining us. This is awful. It's as we do this interview, it's approaching 100. It's over 85 anyway, and it looks like it could reach 100. And this happens because there are a lot of homeless people and people without work, unemployed, who hang out on the Green. Is that your understanding?
Well, first off, thank you very much for having me. I just want to refocus that this race is about Connecticut. And as Connecticut's next Attorney General, I want to make the law work for the people. And this is about justice, not politics. And as you may know, I've been a state prosecutor since 2013. My other career has been as a registered nurse, where I worked in the field of mental health in New Haven at Yale New Haven Hospital. So it's a issue that strikes near and dear to my heart. I've taken care of many patients dealing with mental illness, those patients that have been addicted to either medications or opioids or alcohol, and also the homeless community. So this is an issue that does strike near and dear, and it's one of the issues I want to make a priority as Connecticut's next Attorney General.
How would you do that as AG? How would you do that?
Yeah, a host of different ways is first awareness in education of the people in the state. The second is to continue the investigation that Attorney Jepsen has started in collaboration with the 40 or so states that have already started this investigation as to the marketing practices of certain medications, opioids, and I think that is what the Attorney General's role initially will be, to continue that investigation.
What do you think, and I know you just named one of these, one of my questions was, what has Attorney General Jepsen done well, a piece of legislation, and what has he done that you disagree with?
Yeah, well, overall, I think Attorney General Jepsen has been a very even-handed Attorney General. He came from a political background, but he has been even-handed and fair. He hasn't made this a partisan office. And I think that's one of the things he has done really well, is he hasn't brought it back to an era where it was a hyper-partisan
So is that
office.
what you want to do too? Because I know we have said that you are a Trump supporter, which automatically makes it partisan, right? Or it feels partisan to some people for the election.
This race is about Connecticut, and I truly believe that's why I was so successful in the race, in the primary, is people don't want a career politician as their next Attorney General. They want an attorney with courtroom experience, having trials before juries and bench trials and before judge magistrates. I believe they recognize that I have a background that is well suited for this position. I'm a litigator, and I also was a municipal finance attorney. And with that position as a municipal bond attorney, it's relevant because the Attorney General has a seat on the Bond Commission. And most recently, there was a $10 million unwanted toll study approved. So the voters want a fiscally conservative.
Right, and the Attorney General voted for it,
and
though.
He did vote it after stating that it was just a drop in the bucket. So what has really allowed me to connect with the voters is they want a fiscally conservative Attorney General that has a vote on the Bond Commission that isn't just going to approve unnecessary projects or so forth. So that's one of the issues.
And this is the first time you're running for statewide office, correct?
That's correct.
Have you run for any local offices? Had any local positions?
I did. I was on the Planning and Zoning Board for the town of Plainfield. But my background, I've been a state prosecutor since 2005.
Do you think that makes you better qualified than Democrat William Tong, the state representative who's going to oppose you? He's a commercial litigator now, so how does that experience make you better as an attorney general who would be dealing with consumer issues and things like that?
Well, to call yourself a litigator, you have to litigate. And I believe that I have had trials. I've been in court day after day. And I will let William Tong defend his record, but I have litigated cases, and I do have the requisite courtroom experience that some question as to William Tong, but that's his argument, his day to.
And on that, though, it's interesting because, you know, in the primary, that's what his opponents pointed to. That's what Chris Maddy pointed to, was saying that he questioned his qualifications for it. It's kind of a gift for you because people in his own party were pointing that out.
Right. So I do have the requisite, I have the strongest legal background in the field. I have a tax LLM from Georgetown. I have 13 years as a prosecutor and large firm experience. I was a municipal bond attorney where I handled a near $1 billion transaction, a nuclear power plant sale, as part of a team of lawyers.
I want to ask you about your position on the Second Amendment. You are a supporter of the Second Amendment, you say, to a point. And apparently you went over the line with respect to the largest gun rights group in Connecticut, the CCDL, Connecticut Citizens Defense League. So they've withdrawn their endorsement of you. So what is it that you did that got them all wired?
So I took a stand against 3D guns. And as a prosecutor, as a mother, and as a wife of a retired state trooper, I don't believe it's in the best interest of Connecticut and the people of Connecticut to have guns, plastic, undetectable.
What about AR-15s and sporting rifles, that sort of thing?
Well, I'm speaking to the 3D guns, the plastic,
I know, but
undetectable.
If you don't want those 3D guns that people can make themselves through their computers and with a 3D printer, why would you not also want them to restrict the ownership?
Well, your question was to why CCDL unendorsed me.
Okay, yes,
and
That was because of the ghost guns issue.
because of the 3D plastic, undetectable, untraceable guns. And I took a position a week or so before the primary, which that would, in theory, work against me. And that's the type of Attorney General I will be. If I believe it's the right thing for the state of Connecticut, I won't take a partisan position. I will do what is right for the people of Connecticut. And I took a stand against 3D plastic, undetectable, untraceable guns, and I was unendorsed. And I've received a lot of compliments, and that is the type of Attorney General that people want. And it reflected well in the polls. You know, I took an unpopular position, some may say, but it was the right thing for the people of Connecticut, and I stand by my decision to oppose 3D guns.
Well, thank you. Sue Hatfield,
you.
Candidate for Attorney General.
It is up to us to save this state.